Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Raising Ummah. Today I'm going to try to be very brief and quickly tell you something about one of the secrets of my homeschooling system. One of the things I love about homeschooling and that gives me energy to keep getting up every morning and doing it is the alone time I try to have in the morning. Now, this alone time is what gives me energy to wake up early in the morning. I'm not gonna say that every day I wake up before Fajr, although that is always my intention. But I try to at least make it around Fajr time. So I wake up and I pray, um, and uh, and then I enjoy my time alone. That's number one secret. Well, now this is tea, but I start with coffee, of course, and then I enjoy my herbal tea after that, one after the other. Try to give myself a boost as much as possible. Now, after that, I try to do my Quran. Now, I'm in a health program, so it's a lot of work. And if I don't do it in the morning, I will never do it. So that's another motivation for me to get up early in the morning as early as possible. Now, if I have a lot of things to do with the Quran, what I try to do to refresh my memory and to give myself energy and not fall asleep is in between my memorization or my review for the Quran, I break with other things to do. So what I do, I always have at least two books to read at the same time. A book about parenting or homeschooling. And you guys have no idea. I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm not gonna make general rules and say that this is the best thing to do. No, but for me, this is one of the very important things that give me energy and boost and help me renew my niyyah every time I read one of these books, either about homeschooling or about parenting. This one is Teaching from Rest, A Homeschooler's Guide to Unshakable Peace by Sarah Mackenzie. Now, I read this book before when I first started homeschooling, and I've been wanting to read it again because it's been a long time. And it's a really good book. It's very simple, um, but yet has a lot of tips and a lot of good insights and ideas about homeschooling. It gives me a great boost, and it tells me and it just helps me relax and not just because it's about rest, homeschooling from rest, but in general, any book about homeschooling or parenting helps me take it easy and try to renew my niyyah and try to refresh my mind about why it is that I'm doing all this and that I should take it easy. It just gives me a boost to keep on going, to be honest, and to probably just try to fix any mistakes I might be having or making in my parenting or homeschooling. So this is very important in my routine to read a book about parenting and homeschooling. And then another thing that I like to do is always grab a book, a young adult book. And the reason why I started doing that, and I started doing that for quite some time now, is once my older kids got into the teenage years and the picture books are no longer, you know, um, what they enjoy reading the best or the most. When we go to the library and the little ones grab picture books, I can easily just look at the books right there and then and decide whether this is a good book to take home or put back on the shelf. But then when my older ones started to grab young adult books or chapter books or novels, I started to get scared because then I don't know what's in it. I cannot just review standing up in the library. Especially when we started, even in picture books, sometimes we get into topics that I was stunned and shocked when I saw it in children's books, let alone what might be in young adults books. So I decided to take on this habit of reading a young adult book and know what's in it, and then start recommending it to my older kids. But this one right here, I'm going to talk about it later in a separate video, but This is actually not a young adult book. This is I took this from the library from an adult um, the adult books section, and the reason I took it because he's an Afghan immigrant, and Khaled Hosseini. He's the writer, the author of The Kite Runner, which is made into a movie. He's pretty intense, and he's popular among young adults. And this book was actually read by a teenager uh, who recommended it for my daughter. So I got it and I said, okay, well, I cannot review all this right on the spot, and it will take me forever to read it and then tell her whether she should read it or not. So I said, let's read it together. And then once we into a chapter or two or three, and then I started seeing a language that should not be read by a teenager at all. So I told her to just leave it for me. I will read it, and I will either tell you how the story ended, and tell you the whole story, or see if it's worth reading together and just skipping through these pages that I didn't like. So I've been reading it, and I will inshallah make a review about it later. It's not a bad book, it's just not suitable for young adults. So that's what I do. And another thing that I do in the morning, if I have time and if I wake up early enough, is to write, because this is one of my passions. And I love writing. So I always take a class, an online class, one of these self-paced classes for writing, and I try to practice writing. I try to practice writing every day. And then, if I am blessed with extra time, I will try to do my exercise. I will either just go and walk around the neighborhood if the weather is nice. Like today, I'm planning on doing that, or just on the treadmill, I will do it for 15 minutes, just jogging or walking. That's what I do. And, you know, I end with, if I'm lucky enough again, doing dinner so that I get it out of the way. And hopefully by then, after I finish all this, the little ones, of course, are the first to always wake up. So I get busy with them and I start my day. Now, this is my optimum plan. That's what I always hope for happens every morning. Not all the time it happens, but I'm always grateful if some of it happens. It does give me a boost throughout the day. If I don't get everything done, I try to sneak it throughout the day. But that is one of the things that keeps me going and wanting to wake up every morning and tell myself, you can do it, inshallah, you can do it. Get up and do it. So, and yeah, and just I remind myself every morning of, I try to renew my niyyah. Not that this is, you know, sometimes I do have one of these days of like, I don't care about my niyyah, I don't care what it is, I don't care how great this job is as a homeschooling mom. I'm tired and I want a break. I have these days a lot, but I try not to fall into this trap for a long time. I might take a day off. I might just say, okay, leave me alone. I need a day off. I'm tired. Um, but I don't leave it to, I don't surrender to this feeling for a long time. I try to always fight it and get back up and say, okay, they're my most precious thing in the world, and they are worth me getting up for and fighting for and doing this most honorable job, um, no matter how hard it is. So that's what I try to remind myself of every morning. That's it. That is it. I hope you guys like this video. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page, Raising Ummah, and our bookstore. We have a bookstore, just a very small thing of some of the books I recommend, and a lot of the books I have are on back order, so I will take about 2 weeks for you to get it if you are interested. But just text me and talk to me and let me know if you're interested in anything we have on our Facebook, on our bookstore. That's it. Have a wonderful day. Keep smiling. And don't forget to make dua for my family. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.